Namo Adida Fa. Thanks so much for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. For our Dharma lessons, we've been reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom. Today we're beginning Chapter 2, We Are All Translators. Truly, it is ourselves that we depend upon. How could we really depend upon another? When we reach the state of self-reliance, we find a rare refuge. Dhammapada verse 160. On this occasion, I would like to discuss the effort that we are all making in our work to translate the practice of Buddhism. Maybe it hasn't occurred to you that you are a translator. I would like to suggest that we are all translators in the sense that the teachings which we have inherited from our Asian brothers and sisters cannot be simply uprooted and then replanted in another place on the planet without due attention to the differing environmental conditions. While we gladly recognize there are certain universal principles in the teachings, there are obviously also some aspects that are relative to culture and tradition. So, the manner in which we are taking up Buddhist practice and the kind of effort we are making is our contribution to this shared task of translation. This is as important as, if not even more important than, the work of translating texts. Can we become more conscious of our contribution to this task as we make it? I've often spoke about identifying what pertains to form in the teachings and what is the domain of spirit. Mixing up these things can mean we put emphasis in the wrong place, and in so doing we end up with results that we didn't expect. But sorting out such matters is far from easy. The sparkling radiance of these exotic teachings and techniques readily dazzle us, especially since we have been in the dark for so long. We might feel contented to settle for that initial bedazzled response to this newfound light. However, the Buddha was consistent in his encouragement to not be fooled by the way things appear to be. Only after careful scrutiny should we fully accept something to be true. The point of this encouragement was that we should come to know directly for ourselves the benefit of the teachings. On the other hand, it is not suggesting that we dismiss things because we don't see the sense in them straight away. So how should we approach this matter of discerning the spirit of the teachings? Discerning essence. The point of our taking up the Buddhist way is to find support for our heart's yearning to be free, and it is natural that we begin by observing the way in which others engage in practice. But although a particular technique or system has been applied successfully by one person, it does not mean that it will work for everyone. It is wise to ask, what is important to me? What is it that is quickened in me when I see a teacher or hear a teaching? I like to think about religious forms as being like conventions around eating. If we are hungry, the point of eating food is to become free from the discomfort of hunger. Whether you go to a Japanese restaurant and eat with chopsticks, or a Thai restaurant and eat with a spoon, or a place where you use a knife and fork, the conventions are not the point. The point is that we are fed. So it is with practice. The point is that our hearts no longer feel hungry. So our task is to identify what it is that is nourishing and to focus on that. This is identifying the domain of spirit. If we give this task priority, whatever this may mean in our case, then I feel the forms that support the spirit will evolve rightly. Not to give spirit due priority means that we might be missing out on what is most valuable in a religious tradition. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Fa. Thanks so much for joining me today.